Oh my God, that thing is beautiful, dude.
One of the best snakes I've ever seen in my life, and such a cool snake.
Dude, he's an airbag. Hello, Stove. Hello, Carson. Noah's up there somewhere. Carson found our first herp before I had a chance to film a intro. This is a beautiful Madrean Alligator Lizard that Carson and I just found. Carson spotted it, but we both teamed up. That's about as bright as this guy's gonna get because he literally just shed in Carson's hand. These guys are prime food sources of the two species that we are most hoping to see here. At least two of the three that we're most hoping to see here, those being Arizona Mountain Kings and Banded Rock Rattlesnakes. These guys are real plentiful through here, as you can see. These guys aren't anguid, so you get that lateral fold there on the side that you can see when he breathes, but absolutely stunning. These guys are awesome. I absolutely love alligator lizards, but we've got some hiking to do, so we're just going to release this guy, continue walking. Look at how green that guy is. These guys are stunning. Super common, but absolutely beautiful. All right, well, Noah was walking along and found this horribly ugly, deep in shed Wandering Garter Snake. As many of you know, these are the most common snake almost everywhere along the Front Range in Colorado, but it's also cool to see them down here. It's also pretty cool that he's got such a reduced stripe on him that parts of him are just straight green. That is pretty neat. I've never seen one that looks like that before, but like I said, deep in shed and pretty unattractive, but we are walking some habitat for mountain king snakes, so not going to take more time than this. Then we need to just talk about him briefly, introduce him, and release him. All right, we're walking through this beautiful microhabitat, and this spinning man's was just sitting by a rock. Noah found him. Yet another wandering garter. These guys look pretty similar to the ones we're used to seeing back home, so he's being the worst for video right now, and we see these everywhere back home. It is really cool to see them in a different part of their range. These guys are so widespread, such a wonderful generalist species that does so good in so many different kinds of habitats. So I'm just gonna set him down, let him go on his way. We will keep looking for pyros. I usually do not show invertebrates on this channel just because there's very few that I'm really interested by, but this is a vinegaroon. This is kind of a staple invertebrate of the Sonoran desert region that we're in down here. These guys are incredibly weird, alien. They look like they could pack quite a punch, and they look really menacing, but these guys are actually totally harmless outside of the fact that they emit this vinegar smelling odor or chemical or whatever it is. But yeah, these guys are super weird. Noah just flipped him under a rock here, so I'm going to allow him to go back. Those guys are so weird. They're such alien looking creatures, and it's super funny because they look terrifying, but you can just pick them up like they're nothing. But he's gonna walk back under one of these rocks here. Carson is over here enjoying a crevice spiny lizard that he has placed on me and is now running around. That's so cool, dude. All right, well, we are out here road cruising. We didn't see anything before the sun goes down, and first snake of the night is a blacktail rattlesnake. These guys are awesome. This is Carson's lifer. The rest of us has seen plenty of these guys, but absolutely beautiful snakes. One of the coolest larger bodied rattlesnakes in the country. Generally fairly even tempered, which we're tending to see tonight. This guy's being pretty good, not too fussy, not even really rattling at us too much, so absolutely awesome. These guys really are one of my favorite snakes in the world. Beautiful face on them, beautiful patterning. Just overall a really cool snake. But these guys should be a pretty common sight this trip, as they usually are in the Sonoran Desert or in the Trans-Pecos Desert. Stephen is going to move this guy off the road. This gives you a pretty good idea of just how relaxed and even-tempered they are. These guys are pretty famous for that. As you can see, even upon release, hardly any complaining, just kind of moves along at his own rate. That's not to say that these guys are like safe to play with like they're a garter snake or something. A lot of people think that they are. That's never a good idea to take that stance with any species of venomous snake, but these guys are generally a little bit better than some of the other, like the Western Diamondbacks and prairie rattlesnakes can be a real menace. But anyways, we're just going to keep rolling up the road. May I have a look? What have we got here? A little minuscule desert king snake. Wow, that's a good one too. Carson's very first desert king snake. I've seen this species actually pretty near to where we are before, but these guys are amazing. There you can see that awesome, totally black sock head on these guys. Beautiful patterning. The kings that we get in Colorado are actually intergrades with these guys, but wow, what cool snakes. These guys are immaculate. Man, what a good little snake. These guys are so cool. These guys are fairly common out here. They're not as rare as they are back home, but still awesome to see any king snake. Alright, well, next snake of the night is a Western Diamondback Rattlesnake. In much of Arizona, New Mexico, and parts of West Texas, these guys are extremely common. So common that some people consider them a trash snake. Being from somewhere where this is not present, these guys are pretty cool. This is also Carson's lifer, so congratulations, Carson. But being in that we're going to be road cruising in the Southwest for every night of this trip for the most part, this is going to be a pretty familiar face. But these guys are super cool. Definitely an icon of the Southwest and a super cool snake that we're all happy to see. But we are just going to let it move off because we have other more difficult snakes to find. All right, well, maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, we've got another slightly larger being about twice as big, Western Diamondback Rattlesnake, as he chases Noah away. These guys are awesome. This is a really nice one too, really high contrast for this species. Alrighty, good morning everybody. Today is our first full day in southwestern New Mexico. We're at a spot right now where we are going to be hiking for some Arizona Mountain Kingsnakes. Everybody else is getting going over here, so I'm going to do the same. I have to throw my boots on. We went to bed pretty late last night, so it is a little later in the day than is ideal, but with all the shade that's through here, they should be moving throughout the day, especially since it's staying a little cooler up here. So we're going to start walking and hopefully turn some snakes up soon. Let's review. We were over there 30 seconds after I concluded that video. Noah, this man's, flipped this beautiful mountain king snake under a rock. We had literally been here like 2 minutes. I was putting my shoes on. We were just 50 feet from the car. Holy, can I see that, Stove? Yeah. Oh, look at that beautiful snake. Jeez Louise. This is a beautiful, beautiful female mountain king snake. Yeah, dude, that is a nice one too. Look at the reds on that snake. That thing is absolutely stunning. Oh my God, that thing is beautiful, dude. Oh my good God. For those of you that don't know, this is basically the ultimate prize for the mountain range that, I mean, you'd say so, right? There's no prize higher than this, yeah.
Probably in most of New Mexico.
And these things they can be a real pain in the butt to look for. They only really move when it's moist and cool. It is both of those things right now. We got that moisture going on. It is just, what a beautiful snake. Also, check out on the neck here. She's got some absolutely beautiful cross banding. God, what a lovely, lovely snake. And by the way, we've only been here 6 minutes? I don't know. How long? Yeah.
I mean, I picked up my bag and I flipped 2 rocks. That was the second rock I flipped.
I was lollygagging. Dude, this is amazing. Oh my good God. Check out the lack of black there on the neck. Beautiful red coloration. More striking than what we see in the milks back home. That's not to, say that the milks back home aren't good. I love the milks back home, but oh my good God, dude. The belly on that snake is almost as good as the rest of it. What a snake. That is absolutely amazing. These guys are super cool. Live only in the mountains in Arizona, New Mexico, and then there's a species that goes up into Utah as well. Absolutely stunning snakes. Exactly what we came to find. Exactly what we wanted. I mean, if we don't see anything else the rest of the trip,
it's just fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not encouraging that happens, but geez Louise, what an ideal, incredibly beautiful, incredibly secretive snake. So happy to have seen this thing. Just check out that patterning there on the neck. That is absolutely beautiful. You get those black crossbands that come across. All right, well, we were working our way along this creek and we stumbled into these absolutely beautiful little pools. And if you look in the water here, all of those tadpoles are
canyon tree frog tadpoles. They're a really cool species that would be really cool to see as an adult. I haven't seen them in a couple of years now, and we have them back home in Colorado, but they're much rarer. These guys are always a treat, so we're gonna start looking for those, as well as the the snakes that we're targeting here, and we're just gonna keep walking up this beautiful section of habitat. It's getting awesome up here. Well, Stephen and I were walking along, and I watched Stephen just step right over this snake, who then erupted and began rattling and fleeing from us. But what an amazing snake. That is a banded rock rattlesnake. Oh my goodness. The colors aren't really coming out perfectly in the video. Maybe I'll drop in a photo if I can get his colors to come out right on there. But man, that thing is just green, green, green. Absolutely stunning. This is a male. You can tell the difference between males and females in these by the color. Males generally tend to match the color of the lichen that is locally common. This guy was found somewhere where the lichen is green, and the females would be a little bit more closely, colored to the rocks, which is super, super cool. Man, that thing is incredibly cool. I've seen these guys before. They've been in the vlog before, but they've never been quite this green. This is definitely the nicest male that I've ever seen. And, I mean, one of the better clobs I've ever seen. There's some females that may rival it, but wow, what a beautiful, beautiful snake. Either way, it's getting a little bit later in the day, and we're starting to think about going back for road cruising. So we're going to start our hike back towards camp now, and then hopefully later, it might rain in the afternoon, but hopefully a little later we will be able to go out and start cruising for some more lyre snakes, and hopefully more mountain king snakes, which would be super awesome. This guy was getting minorly irritated with us, so we moved him to another spot. He was getting a little unruly, but man, you can kind of start to get kind of a little bit of an idea how green he is. But these snakes are famous for not showing up as they should in photographs or in video. Absolutely beautiful. You can see right behind the head, he's got those two characteristic spots. Those are absolutely beautiful. Super dark black bands with those white outlines and just a beautiful green-gray coloration. Absolutely beautiful snake. This is one of my favorite species in the whole world, and is part of the reason why we came here, is because these snakes down here, especially in these mountains, are just so, so, so nice. Absolutely wonderful snake. But as I mentioned, the storms are starting to build pretty close to us, so we are going to start heading out of here, start thinking about dinner, and start thinking about road cruising. But absolutely lovely snake, this guy. These guys, he'll turn and show us his face. That thing is just so beautiful, and they've got such a cool face on him. What a snake. That is just one of the best snakes I've ever seen in my life, and such a cool snake. And the way we found it was really cool. Stephen just walked right over him, and he started rattling. These guys are really, really small. This snake is maybe a little bit over a foot, probably smaller. There it kind of maybe shows up better than anywhere else, that green coloration he's got going on. Beautiful eyes, beautiful bands. Everything about these snakes is just so, so wonderful. One of the coolest snakes in the world as far as I'm concerned. We've just begun road cruising, coming up this road, and there is a monstrous blacktail rattlesnake in the road. Oh, and he's getting grumpy.
What's up, dude?
Wow, that's a good one too.
He's a little bit molossus-y looking.
Definitely.
Man, they're
beautiful
awesome.
snake,
What a good
man.
snake. Look at that tail. And they're so peaceful too.
Yeah.
Like that's as much of an agitation
Dude,
as you're gonna get out of one of those.
If you play herping on peaceful mode, that's all the mobs that show up.
Blacktail.
Yeah, dude. Well, this would be a pretty good find back home, but out here it is just about the most abundant amphibian that there is. This is, of course, the red spotted toad. We saw one of these last weekend at the Co-Park survey, and it was a real good find. But out here, they are super, super common. Still an awesome species. This one has a lot more red on him than what we're used to seeing back home. But we're just going to escort this guy off the road. It is raining just a little bit, and these roads have been rained on. So it could be an amphibian night, which I would be happy with. But hopefully as we get a little bit further down in elevation, we are able to find
some snakes down there, but if not, amphibians, totally fine with me.
Alright guys, we finished up road cruising, came back to camp, doing one of my favorite things in the world. I'm joking.
Go sit in the stream.
Well, this is the end of our first full day in New Mexico. I think we did pretty well for ourselves today. The numbers weren't too crazy. We actually only saw, what, 3 snakes?
I think so.
Yeah, but
What?
they were all
They were
high
all
quality.
different. They were all
Yeah.
great.
And we had a wonderful time, took a great creek soak, and now we're gonna enjoy the fire here before we go to bed. We'll be back tomorrow in a similar area, targeting the same exact snake. So, but anyways, we're gonna enjoy the rest of our night. Tomorrow we will be up bright and early to enjoy this wonderful wildland that we're in right now.
Good morning, guys. It's the next day now. Me and Graham, Steva, and Floa. Me, Graham, Steven, and Noah are going to a different mountain range this morning to look for more mountain kingsnakes and more banded rock rattlesnakes with some other cool bycatch in the midst of everything. So we're pretty excited. We had a good day yesterday, and we're hoping to have the same today.
Here's our first find of the day. This is either what we believe is an Arizona tree frog. Nobody's really sure. I'm trying to keep him from jumping away from us. But man, what a stunning frog that is. Carson spotted him while running the GoPro. So we've actually got that footage there. Super cool. Beautiful frog. Amazing. But we are in some absolutely amazing habitat for Arizona Mountain Kings right now. So we're going to get back to that after I photograph this guy real quick. And we're going to keep on rolling and hopefully start turning some snakes up soon. Carson is here with our next find of the day. Okay. Our first reptile. This is yet another Madrean Alligator Lizard. Beautiful, these guys. Oh my goodness, those stripes. Awesome tail. There you can see where that pattern stops. That's a regenerated tail. Beautiful faces on these guys. Just so cool. I mean, the fact that this is an anguid. These guys are related to like the glass lizards that you find out east and in the Midwest. Fascinating lizards. Currently, there is some real angry weather moving in, so we're going to allow this guy to go back and get out of that so that we can do the same. I think we're going to go home without a pyro today, which is a little bit, well, it's actually tremendously unfortunate, but it's also to be expected, so nothing to be upset about there. These guys are so awesome. Anyways, just going to release this guy so we can get out of this weather and go to the road we're going to be cruising tonight. We've arrived at our cruising destination. It's still hot. It's like
It's 95 degrees according to the car.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It was 89 in town. But we've got an Atrox here. Western Diamondback Rattlesnake, who's not really sure if we're a threat or not.
He's definitely trying to figure it out.
Yeah, he's thinking about what we're doing. And we're thinking the same. Man, he's good too. He's got some nice red hues in his...
They start getting kind of pink over here.
Yeah, they do. He's got the pinky back half. Cool. Well, we're going to move him off the road. These guys are super common in this area, so we'll probably see another one tonight. But nice to see snakes moving before the sun even goes down. As promised, here is snake number 2 for the night. Yet another Western Diamondback with a really cool tail on him.
Look how high in the bush.
Yeah, he's climbing. Well, that's going to be a super common sight, but we've arrived at our road. The sun's going down, so hopefully we're in for it. And hit him with the Clob Cruise. That is a beautiful snake. Holy Hannah. That is a good snake. Carson earlier today looked at me in the car and said, I think I'm starting to get why people like Clob so much. How do you feel now, Carson?
Epic, dude.
Can you... Third snake of the night is an incredible male banded rock rattlesnake, matching the road perfectly there. That's kind of funny, but wow, that is a beautiful, beautiful snake. Here you can kind of start to get an idea of how they vary between mountain ranges. That boy we found yesterday was super green. That phenotype doesn't really exist up here. It's mostly these gray snakes. He's also a good deal larger than the one we saw yesterday. That is just an amazing snake. You can also see in those bands they're more brown, where the one we found yesterday was more black. That is an incredible snake, but we're going to take a moment to photograph this guy. I'm going to get a little bit more video when we do that, and then, jeez Louise, I just keep getting distracted because that is such a lovely, lovely snake. Amazing. Just look at that snake. These flies are the worst, but just look at that snake. That thing is absolutely incredible. He's sitting so nice. For this area, this is an absolutely wonderful snake. I mean, there's literally nothing else I can say. Banded Rock Rattlesnakes are, if not my favorite, close to my favorite crotalus species in the United States. They're so variable, so beautiful. For this area, this is really, really exceptional. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than that. Well, that is a New Mexico Trans-Pecos Ratsnake, one of my favorite colubrids in the world, and you can see why. That thing is absolutely beautiful. Incredible blue, like blue-gray eyes, those stripes running down the neck. Oh my goodness, they are one of the coolest looking snakes in the U.S. as far as I'm concerned.
He looks like a Boy Scout.
This is Carson's lifer. Carson might be the first person to ever get his lifer subhawk in New Mexico. How do you feel, Carson?
Guys, I'm feeling good. This thing is awesome.
Dude, look at the eyes on those things. They are so good. We sure are. He is orange too, dude. Gosh. Those two stripes, everything about these guys. Okay, I need to hold this snake. So if you guys didn't hear that, this is a Chihuahuan Hooknose Snake. These guys are an amazing species that we've seen, I think, a couple of times in West Texas, but this is my first in New Mexico, and it's also
It's so big.
huge. These guys stay pretty little, and that thing is tremendously large.
I thought it was a night snake. I thought I was wrong.
Dude, he's half a hognose. He's the same size as an adult hognose. He's just not as chubby as an adult hognose. That is amazing, dude. And also, we're going to have to do it because these guys fart, and it's the greatest of all time.
That thing's bigger. Whoa! Dude, he's an airbag. How does he have that much air in him? Can I hold him? I want to feel this meaty creature.
Paint him or the
Look at his prolapse. Look at it, dude.
Smell my hand.
Look. Oh!
No, Stephen, I will not smell your hand.
He's so nice. You think this thing's gravid? It's just insane, dude.
awesome,
It's
dude.
beautiful. It's probably the nicest one I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
that is a great
It's
one.
incredible looking.
Yeah.
We're having a good night
This is
tonight.
ridiculous, dude.
I like how they don't stop.
Yeah.
It's not like bull snakes where after a while they stop hissing. They just fart and fart and fart and fart and fart.
at all, or they fart for hours.
There you have it. That's another. Yeah, she is really orange. Check that out. That is another.
Look at that white. The white highlights are so good too.
That is yet another Trans-Pecos rat snake in New Mexico here. And that thing is just... They're such beautiful snakes.
Look,
Those
they
things
have
are
such
absurd.
long neck stripes here too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they really do. That one in particular.
The other one has a very similar one.
Does it?
Yeah.
This one, she's bigger, so it's more noticeable.
I wonder if she had tail ticks.
Maybe.
What an awesome snake, dude. Jeez Louise. Man, what a snake. Second one of these of the night. These guys are absolutely amazing. One of my favorite colubrids in the U.S., as I've mentioned before. And just such a unique looking snake. I mean, that's the cool thing about these guys is there's nothing that really looks like them until you get into Baja California. And even then, I mean, the Baja California rats don't look quite the same as these guys. All right, well, we were heading out, and this is something that we saw in Colorado a few months ago. This is a painted desert glossy snake. They actually look quite a bit different. Maybe they don't. No. Yeah, they don't look any different.
That one isn't like a very textbook painted desert though.
Yeah.
You're right.
I wonder if you get a little integrating over this way.
You definitely could.
Because Kansas are just a little bit further east. Either way, super cool snake. Kind of figured we would see something on the way out, and sure enough, so we're going to release him and keep on moving.